Sokka and Zuko has the best relationship in Avatar. Let me explain.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
If you're new here, we do plenty of Avatar videos, including episode reviews, theory, and character analysis. So if you like those things, subscribe so you don't miss out. This video is part of the Meaning in Media series, so check out that playlist. Oftentimes, Aang and Zuko are depicted as parallel characters, or Katara and Zuko are said to have similar stories, but I would argue Sokka and Zuko's relationship fits those molds much better. And in examining their similar stories and character arcs, we the audience can actually learn a lot about ourselves and how we deal with certain shortcomings of our own. So let's get started examining the family relationships that define them. Their father. Sokka and Zuko are teenage boys. One of the most important relationships a teenage boy could have would be the one with their father. Young boys often look up to their father. I know I did, I still do. The father is supposed to be the example a boy has to becoming a man, how to treat people, how to lead, how to be responsible, and how to gain honor. These relationships, or lack thereof, influences both of these characters in different ways. For Sokka, he idolized his father. He saw the strong warrior leader his father was, and he wanted to become that. Sokka's issue with his relationship to his father is that, for Sokka, it felt like something to live up to, almost a burden. He probably felt some shame that he didn't go with his father to fight in the war. He wanted to prove to his father what a great warrior he could be. But little did Sokka know his father was well aware of his son's warrior spirit, which is why he left Sokka to watch over his little sister in the village. For Zuko, he wanted his father's love and respect. He thought the only way to do that was to mimic his father's anger, hatred, and discontentment. He fought so hard for his father's love, he ended up losing himself in the process. The absence and neglect from their father was even more impactful to them, given that each of their mother was taken from them at a young age. The relationship with their mother. Having a mother figure helps a young man realize how strong and resilient women can be, and how to treat a lady. This void was very noticeable for Sokka. He starts off the series being pretty sexist and misogynistic. He thinks Katara is only good for sewing his clothes. He can't fathom the idea that the Kyoshi warriors, a group of girls, could beat him up. He even later mansplains to them how to fight. Zuko's relationship with his mother was very vital to his upbringing. With Uncle Iroh, a different man at the time and off to war, the only love Zuko received was from his mother. And with her disappearance, he was left with a father who only had disdain in his heart for Zuko. I'm a firm believer that in order to give love, it is vital that you first receive it. Zuko didn't have much love to give, which left a void in his heart that he tried to fill with his father's approval, which led him down a dark path, a path his sister took. Relationship with their little sister. Both Zuko and Sokka have little sisters who in other stories would probably be the weaker one. But here, the little sisters are far more talented and lauded than them, leaving the older brothers lacking a certain identity. Zuko from an early age is consistently reminded that he is inferior to Azula. When they were young, Azula was naturally talented at firebending. Doing so before Zuko, Warlord Ozai was so displeased with Zuko's lack of firebending, he considered expelling Zuko from the family. Then, in Azula and Zuko's first fight, Zuko is humbled again. Azula is so much more physically talented than he is that she doesn't even firebend most of the fight, almost to rub it in his face. Zuko's angst at his inability to reach Azula's level seemed to always bother him. He even mentions to Aang that his father said she was born lucky and he was lucky to be born. For Sokka, even though his relationship to his sister is far better than the one that Zuko has, he still struggles with finding his part on the team next to her. Compared to Katara, who is a waterbending master, Sokka is fairly useless in combat. How frustrating that must be for him, the older brother who was left in charge of protecting his sister and his tribe, that he can't comfortably do one thing, the one thing his father asked him to do. I believe their shared shortcomings to their sisters leads them to their shared interest in sword fighting. They are both actually trained by Master Piandao. Swordsmanship is the one physical skill neither of their sisters seem to have. To excel in sword fighting, it doesn't take natural gifts like bending, but creativity, versatility, intelligence, and I'm going to add perseverance. These are the traits that define a great swordsman, and these are the traits that define Sokka and Zuko. Now there's a common thread here between these two stories that is so necessary to apply to all of our lives, and that thread is humility. Sokka and Zuko continuously throughout the show deal with setbacks, embarrassment, and thus shame. Sokka's shame isn't as profound as Zuko's, but it's there. He's ashamed he isn't as capable as other members of Team Avatar, he's ashamed he doesn't even remember what his mother looks like, and he's ashamed that at times he doesn't live up to his father. Zuko's ashamed of how his life is. He was the crown prince of the Fire Nation who was banished and forced to live as a peasant in foreign land. When he finally returned home as a hero of the Fire Nation, he grew to be ashamed of the person he had to become to get there. It's important to note that we all deal with shame. Some of us feel like Sokka that we aren't living up to the stature of someone we admire. Or we may feel like Zuko, that we feel we aren't living up to our perceived destiny. I have to admit, lately, I've been feeling similar shame to Zuko. I recently had to leave a job at a billion-dollar company that paid me pretty good salary with tons of autonomy and had a roadmap for promotions and higher salaries. I thought I would work there for a long time, perhaps to retirement. Or you could say, I thought I knew my destiny. But no, that clearly was not my destiny. Instead, my current job pays noticeably less with less autonomy, but if I look past those things, there are some good things about it. I'm currently in the field of healthcare and think my contributions, though small, result in better healthcare and life for people. I need to realize that if I humble myself and fully commit and accept my current situation, I can align myself to making others' lives better. That is part of humility, to lower oneself to serving others.
Pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame.
It took Zuko to gain true humility to realize his place in the world. He shows it often afterwards. When he confronts his father, he could have easily killed him when he redirected his lightning, but he knew that that great task should be the Avatar's. He's often seen serving tea to other people. And right before he reunites with Uncle Iroh, he humbles himself and kneels by Iroh's side, waiting for him to wake up. That is a true sign of respect. Sokka humbled himself by accepting that the other members of Team Avatar are more suited for certain tasks and the prestige that comes with it. Instead, he would direct them to do what's necessary. The beautiful thing about these two characters is I think these similarities really influence the friendship these two share. Zuko was totally able to relate to Sokka during their trip to the Boiling Rock. On the way there, they had some genuine bro bonding time, and of course Zuko delivers the ultimate bro response to something very depressing. That's rough, buddy. And Sokka speaks very highly of Zuko to his father later on. Their friendship would still be strong even after the series. Sokka accompanies Zuko to look for his mother and shares some brotherly advice to Zuko on how to deal with Azula. They both were integral in the creation of Republic City. Though Aang and Zuko seems to be credited mostly for the creation of the city, Sokka lived there and served on its council. There's even a statue in his honor there. I like to think that Sokka and Zuko were together on many aspects that built the city. These two accomplished so much, and it started with them humbling themselves to realize their destiny. Destiny is what you make it. You make it in every moment with every choice. Everywhere that you are by your actions and your ability to thrive in unwanted situations. It doesn't mean to just settle for those situations, but to excel in them nonetheless. Alright, that's the video for today. What other similarities do you see between these two, and what are some other lessons do you take away from them? Comment below. And if you got something out of this, be sure to comment, like, share, and consider subscribing. And sincerely, thank you for watching. I'm out.